Hello, I am Willie. I'm a student at the University of Arizona Global Campus. I have been given the privilege to share a bit of my story with you. Now, my story may be a little uncomfortable for some of you to hear, so let me apologize in advance. But if you would just brave through it with me, you will come to understand who I am in a manifold sense. I will begin by sharing that I was born and raised in an area in the great state of Mississippi known as the Delta. It is the upper part of the state, very close to the Tennessee state line. My family were sharecroppers. Well, for those of you who don't know what that is, that's just a fancy word that means that we were a family who worked on someone else's land in exchange for rent and living expenses. In retrospect, I would have to say we were just modern day slaves. You see, times in the South back then were very sensitive when it came to racism, especially in Mississippi, what historians call the Civil Rights era. During this era, blacks were becoming more enlightened and rebellious, while whites were still being their same old honorary selves. The more enlightened and empowerment that was recognized amongst blacks, the more severe the beatings and relentless torture and killings of the blacks were being displayed upon by the whites. But my sister was raped and beaten by a group of white men, and my dad didn't do anything about it. That was basically the first time that I experienced an emotion. And they came all at the same time, as a matter of fact. The emotion of fear, anger, and hopelessness. As time went on, and I discovered that my dad knew the culprits behind the incident and still refused to do anything about it, I sunk into like a deep depression. I created this belief in my head that my dad is afraid of the white man. And then I began to excuse his cowardice by saying that, well, maybe he's supposed to be afraid of the white man. Henceforth, maybe we all should be afraid of the white man. You see, my mom, when I was a kid, used to always say, God will provide, God will fix it, God will take care of anyone who wrong us. Well, at the age of 7, the only people I saw who were fixing things and providing and disciplining us were the white people. So I began to identify the white man with God. But I still could not understand why the white man or God would do such a horrible thing to my sister. I was confused. And the more confused I became, the more frustrated I became. And with that frustration, after a while came anger. And then that anger turned into rage, a very deep rage. A rage so deep that I concluded I hate the white man. I hate God. Now, this story encapsulates the early construction of the foundation of my life. When I was reading the overview of this assignment, one of the sentences stated that our racial and ethnic identity contribute to shaping our identities as individuals. Well, I somewhat disagree with that statement, primarily because I believe that it is those external factors that impress upon us our racial and ethnic identities, that is, it's what contribute to the shaping of who we are. In fact, to me, that is the very definition of what social construct is all about. So if I had to perceive my identity or view my identity in a certain way, I would view it in three unique components. One, my identity is found in my emotions, which is how I see things and how I express my feelings and respond to people, places, and things. My identity is found sociologically, which refers to how I see and express myself in relation to others. Also, it is how I believe others see me. And then there's this thing called biological. This is the one that I embrace the most because it refers to my inherent living being. It defines primarily who I am physically. See, to me, biological identity is who we are in our truest form. The other two are basically arbitrary. It's basically how we come to be based on our experiences in dealing with other things and other people. So therefore, it is my belief that identity is who I am. It's not who I am constructed to be. Thank you.